In today's video, we're taking a look at the Weeylite Ninja 300 Mini COB LED studio light. This is an incredibly portable and affordable studio light. I'm actually using this light as my main key light right now for this video, and the softbox is literally here. I'm touching it with my fingers. It's very close to my face. Quick disclaimer, Weeylite did send me this to review, but they've not paid for this video or sponsored it in any way, and they've not seen this video before it's gone up on my YouTube channel, so all the opinions in this video are entirely my own. So before doing a review, I wanted to actually test it properly in a real life situation. So I used this on a music video the other week, and quite honestly I was surprised at how easy this was to use and how portable it is. Before having this light, I actually used the Aperture 120D, and that is a massive light that comes in a great big heavy bag. It's a brilliant light, but for me it just became too cumbersome to carry around, and this works so much better for me. You can get this light in a variety of different packages to suit your needs. The prices of these range from around £126 to £170, which to be honest isn't bad at all for the type of product you're getting here and the number of accessories that you can get. The standard package, for example, comes with the light, a lampshade, a remote control and the carry case, or you can upgrade the package to include things like a Bowens mount adapter, a battery plate and a softbox. Now I got a pretty random package that you can't actually get from the Weeylite website, but I got the light itself, a lampshade, a battery mount adapter, and the Bowens mount adapter, which we'll come to later in the video. So before we get into my actual opinions of this, let's actually go through some of the specifications. So it's an 80 watt high brightness Cree LED. Now this is incredibly bright. I think I have it on around 40% now, and it's pretty much lighting my entire room. This is a really small office space, and I'm trying to avoid having it on too bright because the light bounces off this wall, and then I don't really get any nice shadows or any depth if I use a light that's too bright. But I think right now it looks pretty good. We also have a CRI rating of equal to or more than 95, and that's pretty standard for lights of this price. CRI rating, I kind of covered this in some other videos, but it's basically to do with how accurate the colour of the light is. So the objects that you're filming or photographing are the right colour. And that's very important for things like skin tones, because the last thing you want is really weird looking skin tones. We also have stepless dimming from 0 to 100%, so you can easily just adjust the brightness if you need it. The light has a standard colour temperature of 5600 Kelvin. This is not adjustable. This is going to be your permanent white balance. This white balance is supposed to be like the sunlight at noon. Whether or not it is, I'm not entirely sure, but I can definitely tell just from looking at the previews from this footage that the colour it's getting on my skin looks great. You can power this light via a power socket, or you can use a battery plate. The battery plate isn't included in the standard package, but it is available in some of the other packages. We've also got an LCD panel at the back, and this is great for looking at the settings you have and adjusting anything that you need to. We also have 12 scene effects. Every time I review a light like this, I basically say that the scene effects are useless. They're not really something I'm ever going to use, but we'll go through some of these later on in the video. In terms of controlling this light, as well as using the dials and the buttons on the back of this, you can actually use an app on your phone, or you can use a Bluetooth remote control. It's great to see so many different ways to actually control this light. Now I don't really like starting reviews with like a negative thing, but there is one thing that I need to mention sort of straight off the bat. An immediate issue I have with this light is that there's not a standard mount. Now what I mean by that is that because this light is so compact and small, the mount on the front is not a standard mounting system. Most lights out there use a Bowens mount, and that's like the sort of industry standard mount. So you can get softboxes, light domes, all those different kind of accessories use a Bowens mount, and you just pop that straight onto one of these kind of lights and it just fits straight in. And a Bowens mount adapter is only available in some of the packages. Personally, I'd have liked to have seen a Bowens mount adapter included in all of the packages, because if you're someone that does any kind of lighting, chances are you have Bowens mount products laying around. I have, for example, a Fresnel mount, I have a softbox, and if I hadn't have got the Bowens mount adapter in the package that Weeylite sent me, I wouldn't have been able to use them. Weeylite also don't offer this as an individual product on their website, which I do find confusing, because if this is an item which you can have in one of the packages, surely also sell it individually. Because you can't buy the Bowens mount adapter separately, I definitely recommend getting a package with it included. One thing I do really like about this product is the fact you get a carry case with it. There are some cheaper COB LEDs that don't include carry cases. Personally, if you're going to be using any kind of light like this, you should always get a carry case included, in my opinion, because they're not easy to carry around. All of the accessories that Weeylite sent me fit really nicely in this case with room to spare. The case also feels very well made, especially for this price. Quick tip, don't put the light in the case when it's on, because if you're an idiot like me, you're going to burn it. Inside the carry case, we also have a nice little zip compartment to put manuals, and there's also a shoulder strap. The light itself has a really nice, classy design to it. I do really like these green accents. It just makes the light feel a little bit more designed. I did mention earlier on in the video that at the back of the light we do have the dial and the buttons, so you can change all your options. And you can adjust things like the brightness, the fan speed, the effects mode settings, as well as being able to change the wireless channel mode and even upgrade the firmware. And to be honest, that's pretty much it for the light itself. Usually for my videos I use the newer 10.6 inch round LED panel. It's a very small light, but it works pretty well. And I actually did a video recently about how I light my YouTube videos, so you may want to check that out. So here's a quick comparison between the Weeylite that you've been seeing for this entire video and the newer round LED. Now bear in mind, on the Weeylite I do have a 24-inch softbox attached to it, so it's obviously not going to look the same. But I think if I had the space, I'd use the Weeylite for sure. If I ever move this desk setup to film my videos in a different space, this is the light I'm going to be using. I just think it has a more natural colour, and with the softbox it's much softer light. Which light do you prefer the most? Do you like the Weeylite more, or do you like the look from my newer light? Let me know in the comments. The first thing that I really like about this light is the fact that it's compact and lightweight. It only weighs 1 kilo, and you can even use it handheld if you want to, which is crazy to me. I mentioned earlier that I used to use the Aperture 120D, and that carry case was massive, and the light itself was really big and heavy. This is so much smaller and really easy to use. And if you're like me and you do a lot of shoots on the go, or you like shooting outside, or having just a bit more freedom because it's lighter and easier to carry around, then you're really going to like this light. The next thing is the fact that you can use this either via a power socket or by using batteries. Now to use batteries with this, you do have to order it with the battery plate, but it doesn't add much more to the price, and in my opinion, it's totally worth getting. This battery plate uses Sony MPF batteries, and most people have a lot of those. And the fact that you can then use this light outdoors really opens up creative possibilities. Now I know that you can get V-mount batteries for other kinds of lights like this, but V-mount batteries are big, heavy and expensive. So the fact that you can just power this with Sony MPF batteries is brilliant. You can also rotate this light around 330 degrees from the base. This is pretty good if you want to use this for bounce lighting, for example, and you don't want to have this just, shooting straight at someone, and you want to use it to bounce light off the ceiling, for example. It just means you can move this around a bit more to get the look you want. One of the best features of this light, in my opinion, is the fact that you can adjust the fan speed between low, medium and high. Now this is great if you want to reduce the fan noise. So right now I have the fan on low, so you really can't hear it. Now the Godox SL60, for example, is a really well-reviewed light. People love it, but one of the biggest complaints is the fact that the fan noise is really loud. So I love the fact that you can turn it down on this. It is worth mentioning though that when you adjust the fan speeds, it does change the brightness levels. So if you put the fan speed on low, you can only go up to 50% brightness. If you change it to medium, you can go up to 80%. And if it's on high, you can use the full 100% brightness. But quite honestly, I don't know how often you would really need high. Right now I'm using this on the low setting and on 40% brightness. So taking a look at the phone app, the settings here are pretty minimal and you can only really use this in CCT and scene mode. Pairing this with your phone is super easy. All you have to do is set the channels on the light itself and then open the app and set the channels on here and you're connected. From here you can turn the light completely off. You can adjust the brightness of the light. And then you have your scene mode. So if we go to the scene tab, you've got all these different options. So you can do things like flash. So this is supposed to replicate lightning, for example, and you can change these between slow, normal and fast. So if I put this on fast mode, this is like lightning attack. If you put it on slow, it goes through slowly. There's also settings like flame. So it looks like you're, I don't know, in front of a fire, although does it? I don't know. You've got things like firework, burst, TV, so it looks like you're in front of a TV. Now, are any of those scene effects actually worth using? I don't know. I don't really use these kind of scene effects ever in any of my work. I just don't really think they're worth using, but I'm sure there's people out there that like using them, so at least it's worth having. So let's now talk about what I don't like about the light. And to be honest, it's really only one thing. The fact that the mount adapter on the front is not any kind of standard mount. I feel like standards when it comes to camera kit is very important because you can just use any kind of accessories then with the products. The fact that you can't use any other kind of softboxes with this unless you get the Bowens mount adapter kind of bothers me. As I said earlier, I definitely recommend people get the package with the Bowens mount adapter if they're interested in getting this, because there's so many Bowens mount products out there that you can then use with this light to really give you more options. But you know what? That's probably the only thing I don't like about this light. Overall, I like this light a lot. The fact that it's lightweight, compact and easy to take around with the carry case makes this light really appealing to me, especially as I do a lot of shoots at different locations. So that's pretty much it for my review of the Weeylite Ninja 300 COB LED studio light. What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments or questions about this product, feel free to leave them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, be sure to leave a like, it really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe, hit that little bell icon and you'll be notified when I upload something new, and then hopefully I'll see you in the next one.